we are live. Saying live. I'll give it a few minutes. Oh yes, we are live. I see somebody's joined me. Good evening. Hi Aileen. How are you doing? I hope you're keeping well. I've got a few of you now. Cheers everyone. Hiya lovely Valerie. Oh, I needed that. Been quite busy today. Well, been quite busy all week actually. Hi Angie. I'm doing something quite different tonight. Something I have only done once before, and that was the other day. Hiya Pauline, how you doing? Hi Aileen. Long time no see. Who else? We've got Beryl. Hiya Beryl. Catherine. Hi Catherine. Hi Kaz and Bernice. Hi Bernice. We've got a few of you in, so I'll make a start. I've been finishing off the things that I was doing last week, the table runner and the embroidery, the table mats for my daughter. Got all them finished. I'm sure you've seen them on Facebook. What I've been doing this week is a little bit. We have had, oh no, I'm sorry Aileen. Oh, that's awful, so near Christmas. I know it's awful anytime, but so near Christmas. I hope everybody else is well. Hi Sarah. Yes, so I've been doing a lot of Christmas things, as I've said. My daughter, not the one who asked for all the table decorations and the mats, thanks Laura. Hiya Valerie. Hi Marianne. My other daughter, Kira, has got 2 little children and she wanted some Christmas stockings. I will just go and get your eyeless because I finished hers. Oh, and by the way, I did manage eventually to get through all the comments from last week. Hiya Jean. And it was Jane Steed who answered first with all the reindeer. Well, I'm saying I got chance. I had a look through and I couldn't get who was the first one. But Mark had a look today and it was Jane Steed. So Jane, PM me your address and I'll send something out for you. And I'll see if I can find a little bit of something to have a competition tonight. And try and make it a weekly thing, and then I'll send a little bit of something out here. So this is the stocking that Kira wanted. She wants them all, I know it's backwards, it says Isla. She wanted Disney, and she wanted, I said to Isla, who do you want on it? And she says, Anna, Elsa and Olaf. Now, I only had 2 of them that I could fit on, so she's got Elsa and Olaf. So you haven't missed anything, Elizabeth. I'm only just starting. What I did was, on the main bits of the stocking, you can see it's a lovely sparkly red fabric. I've done the Amelie Scott edge-to-edge quilting on the embroidery machine. So it's got holly and baubles and Christmas trees all over. And then I used my, we've got Disney stocking top. And I used my embroidery machine to embroider Elsa and Olaf on there. Hiya, Bev. So that was Isla's, and then she wanted for Malachi something Christmassy. Malachi's 2 next week. So Malachi's got the Season of Magic with Mickey and Minnie sharing a little kiss. So that is for Malachi's, but she's going to have a go at making these up herself. I can't believe it. I've got both my daughters sewing this week. Laura's 30, Kira's 24, and I've waited all this time and I finally got them sewing. Yay! So this one is Malachi. She's going to finish them off. I've done a one, as you can see, our Isla's is finished, so that she can see how to do it. And I've cut everything out for her. So all she has to do is basically make them up. So that's that one. So the others, for herself, let's see if this is hers. She wanted Marie from Aristocats. So Kira's got Marie. And I have done that Disney one. I think we've all done them out with Sarah. So Kira's got Marie, and her partner, oh no, this is the dogs, obviously. For the dog we had to put Mishka on. Pluto, sorry. The dog's called Mishka, and Pluto we've put on for the dog stocking. And her partner didn't want anything too babyish, so he went for Lightning McQueen. So Luke's got Lightning McQueen. Hiya Sharon, not been in touch all week. I know it's been a bit hectic here. I will catch up with you soon. So Luke's got Lightning McQueen. So that's the stockings all cut out and ready for Kira to assemble. So I'll be on standby if she gets stuck. And I finished my gingerbread people. They're not people, are they? They're gingerbread cookies. So we've got the one with the eaten leg, another one with the eaten leg and head. Ouch. We've got the little angel, another one with an eaten head, and then we've got the big Merry Christmas one for the centre, another eaten one, and then we've got Mrs. Christmas, and we've got another little eaten one, and then a little elf one. So these are going to be hung up in the room when we get all that finished. I think that's going to look quite cute. Now I've done 4 of these because I did one for each of my children for their homes and one for myself. So that's something else off my list. And then, ready for cuteness, I made little Robin a little zipped up hoodie, and I found the fur and I thought I've got to put the fur in the hood just to make it nice and cosy. So she's got a little snowman jacket. Oh, thanks Jean. Is it Jean Jones? Sorry, I can't see. Thank you, Paula. And she's got a little hoodie. And Lewis has said I'm all right to show you some pictures, so if I get chance, remind me and I'll show you a couple of pictures that they've sent me. It's because Valerie and Margaret have sent gifts for, can you remember where you got the big gingerbread and Merry Christmas sign design from, please? I'll have a look for you, Catherine. I've got a feeling, I'm not sure, Embroidery Garden maybe, but I will have a look for you and I'll let you know. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so if you remind me, I'll try and get some pictures and let you have a look. Thank you, Paula. I love it. It's so cute. So I'm going to make her a couple more if they're all right, because she's still got problems with the bones. But I thought with it having a zip on, it'll be easy enough for them to put it on her. So that's what I've been doing. Now I'm on a Chandra on the 20th, so I'm already working on stuff for that. But yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before, I decided I wanted some slippers for inside. It gets quite cool because I've got tiled floor. Robin's hoodie's gorgeous. I know, I want one, Angie. So I decided to have a go at slippers. And this is said result of slippers. And they've got leather soles. So they're quite hard wearing, although they are only for down here. Thanks, Vicky. And the pattern I've used is one I got from Etsy. And it's Petit Bout. Youth to women slippers sizes 1 to 13 wrap overs pattern and tutorial. So it's on Etsy. If anybody wants to go over there and have a look. Petit Bout, spelt P-E-T-I-T-B-O-O, Petit Bout. And I recommend it. Really easy project. I'm going to make them tonight, so I'm going to make another pair for up in the house. And I would recommend definitely going for that. Now, what I used for the sole was, I think you can remember, last year or the year before, probably the year before now, we've got a place near us. So if you're in Yorkshire, in Ossett, near Wakefield. Hiya Jane, you won the reindeer, so send me your, PM me your address and I'll send something out for you. I've only just started, Joyce, don't worry. So these are the pieces of leather that a lot of us got in bags, and she only charged us £2 a carrier bag full of these leather scraps. There's some of them that are big enough for handbags. I have told you before because I made the messenger bag out of them. So this is what I'm using for the soles on the slippers, and I think it's really hard wearing. And the other one I made on the industrial machine, but tonight I'm going to have a go at making it on my Benina, to see if it's easy enough for you to do with leather on your own machines. So I will put you down so you can see what I'm doing. I'm on my cutting table at the moment. I've had a bit of a tidy out as well. I haven't rearranged, Sharon. Don't worry, I've not rearranged, but I have had a tidy up of the fabric, so we're looking a bit messy. So I've cut out most of it, and the fabric I'm using is Tula Pink. I got it from a Chanda a couple of weeks ago. This is the Starling one. I also got some of the Lineworks one as well. But this is what I'm using for the slippers. So I've cut that out, and basically I'll show you what I've cut out so far, and then if you can decide yourself if it's something you want to go for. So the sole, it says cut 2 of main, 2 of lining, 2 of batting. What I've done is I measured my foot, and it tells you what measurements you need, and I've cut out 2 main. I haven't cut out any lining because with the other pair I found I didn't need it, but for the batting I'm using fleece, and I'm going to put who won the reindeer. It was Jane Steed won the reindeer. I'm going to see if I can do something else tonight to some other little prize, so that we do this every week. I want it. How do I set up my wages to buy for? Oh, Kaylee, you need to switch off. So I'm using fleece, and I'm using 2 layers, and that's what I did in my others, and they're really quite comfortable. So I'm quite happy with that. 2 layers of fleece, and I'm going to I have cut a layer of the main fabric, and another piece you need to cut is the interfacing, which is the sole. So that's what I've interfaced already on this Tula Pink fabric. So that's ready. I'm going to make one up at a time. So I've got my 2 fleece pieces and a piece of the main fabric. And what I need to cut out of this now is the leather. So I need the bigger piece. So it just about fits on there. And it cuts easy enough with my rotary cutter. It is quite a thickish piece of leather. I don't think you'd want anything too thin, because there's nothing worse than standing on something with slippers on and it hurts your feet. I've had operations on my feet, and they're not the best. No, my hands aren't either, or my legs. I haven't got a good piece on my body. So that's one done. And I think what I'll do for the other one is I'll do it from the leather piece, just to, you do find if you get the leather from what's it called, come on, somebody tell me, Recycle Yard, that's what it's called. It's just got these marks on it. It's because they were used just where they draw around the skins to find where the problems are. So I need to put it right sides together. There isn't a left and a right actually, so it doesn't really matter. It's whatever shape your feet makes the slipper go to. So you make it a left and a right by just doing the wrap over in opposite directions. But you can get scraps of leather online and things like that. So there I've got a piece of leather each, my main fabric, and 2 pieces of fleece. And then for the tops, I've cut out the wrap over pieces, which consists of 2 main, 2 interfacing and 2 lining for each side. I've already interfaced the main pieces, so they're ready to go. And then the heel is this flat bit, which is what goes behind your foot. recycle yard. Thanks, Sharon. Oh, I don't know what's up with me. For the heel part, you need 2 pieces of main, 2 interfacing, and I've used a woven interfacing, and 2 pieces of lining fabric. So they're ready, and that's all you need. So you can see you're not using much fabric at all. That was a 1/2 yard piece, and that's what I've got left. So you could definitely make a pair of slippers out of a 1/4 of fabric, or a 1/4. Definitely. So I don't think that's bad. So if you wanted to make any gifts, perfect gift. Right, so they're all ready. I'll take these over to the Benina, and then I'll take you over with me. And we'll see if my Benina, oops, sorry, I was on about somebody on the sewing street the other day who didn't close the blade. I've done it myself. Right, let's get you settled in. So I've interfaced them already, so I don't have to, sorry, get ready, you're going on a rocky ride. I don't want to have to do any pressing. I'm not going to turn you around, sorry about that. Right, you're in position, I'll just lower you down a bit. Which one is it, this one? There we go, fasten it up a bit. Hi Mum. Brenda's my mum, if you didn't know. My mum's given me a project to do, she wants me to do armrest for my stepdad. He's got problems with his hips as well, and he wants somewhere to put the remote control so they don't slip off. Oh, nice gin. Right, so first of all, let me just have a recap. It goes up to an 11-inch foot. Now, I think mine was a 9, which is a 10-inch. So I would say it goes up to about an 8, a lady's 8. Hiya, Sandy. First of all, we're going to start on the heel part. So it says to use a 1/4 of an inch, but I've got my see-through foot on, which I'll keep it on rather than disturb you. So what I'm doing is, on this heel part, I'm putting right sides together, the 2 heel pieces, and I'm going to 1/4 of an inch seam allowance from start to finish, back tacking at beginning and end. Now I'm going to put my stitch length down to 190. I have put a leather needle in, and I don't really need a leather needle for doing this bit, but we'll see how it sews. If it doesn't sew, I'll change it and just put the leather needle in at the end. It's a bit noisy. Meant to do some lovely slip patterns. Oh, I'll have to have a look at them, Kaylee. Right, so it just tell you to press, but just for speed, I'm going to finger press. Do I need to turn my light off, or am I all right? Let's see if I can turn it down a little bit. Oh, it's down as low as it'll go. I'll see how I go. Light off if you can. Oh dear, I'll turn it off. Is that better? Yeah. Right, what I found the other day, now they tell you to do this casing, and they tell you to thread it with a safety pin, your elastic. Now, I found that I don't like doing things like that. I'll save time if ever I can do, and I decided that I was going to try and sew the elastic in at the same time and then just pull it to the length required, and it worked. So I'm going to do that again. So I've turned that wrong sides together, and I've just creased it with my finger. I'm going to do the same on the other one. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Just chewing it up because of the needle. See if I can get away with it. I don't want to change the needle and have to change it back, but I will if I have to. There we go. I do find right needle for the job, always. So I've got to think of something. Right, I tell you what I'm going to do. Sorry I'm late. Don't worry, Heather. Hiya, Jude. They were both on Facebook together. Who was both on Facebook together? Have I missed something? Oh. Hiya, Dorothy. You're not late, Heather. Don't worry about it. Am I not keeping up with something, Jude? I'm going to do a bit of high spy. And it's not fair on the people who come here regularly. Because they probably know. Let's have a think. What can I do? I tell you what, right? Kaylee, Vicky and Sharon, you can't enter. Sorry, I'll find something else for you lot to do. How many machines are on display in my sewing room? First person to tell me, and I'll have to count it myself. Sewing machines, not any other machines. How many sewing machines are on display? Usable machines, because I have got some that aren't usable. How many usable sewing machines are on display in my sewing room? Whoever gets it, I'll send something out. Right, so I've done the same with both now. I've just finger pressed down the seams, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the elastic along the fold there. I'm going to fold it back, and I'm just going to tack across the end just to hold it in place. That should be fine. And I want to do, it says a 5/8 7-inch stitch. Now, how I'm going to make sure it doesn't move is I'm going to put it right against the stitch and hold it. And I'm not going to stretch it yet. I'm going to make sure it's pushed right up. Right, I will tell you, I'll count them before we go, and I'll have to look back into the comments to make sure I can see who's won, and I'll announce it next week. Right, so I'm now stitching 5/8 7-inch stitch, seam allowance, making sure that I don't catch that elastic in. It's just a cheats way of doing it, so I don't have to get me safety pin out and thread it through. Now I've come to the end of that one, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the next one without breaking off the stitch. So I'll put the next one on there, fold the fabric over it, back tack at the beginning, and then continue right to the end, and then I'm going to pull the piece of elastic to the length required. So again, it tells you on the pattern what length's required. It's quite good having a little bit of fun, isn't it, on an evening as well. I'll have to have a count up in a second and let you know how many there is and see who got it right, but I will have to check in the comments afterwards. Right, so I've come to the end, I've stitched all the way along, take that out. I think mine needs to be about 9.5. So you can see I've caught it at the beginning there, and hopefully when I pull this elastic, yes, it's not caught. So I can just pull it through until it's the right length and then stitch it to hold it in place. I have got a tape measure that comes on a sticky tape, and I've stuck it to my desk, and I find it's the most useful thing for measuring at your machine. So this is about right there. So it's not really loads gathered, but that's the amount I need. So I'm going to stitch that in place now, and then I can cut it off. So I can take those apart, cut that off, And that is one done without having to thread it through. I'm going to pull this gently so I don't pull it through. Stitch at the top and then measure this one so it's the same as the first one. There we go. By the way, I have also managed to get all the What's on My Work Desks on YouTube. I've learned how to do it myself, so I will keep up with them. I'll try and do it the day after. So just measure till these are the same length. And then I'll go and count up. That's about right. So now I can cut that and then cut the elastic off, and that'll be used for some more masks. Cut that off, and now I've got my 2 heel pieces ready. Quite a quick project as well, this. I found the longest bit was sewing the sole in, the leather sole. Right, so I'm going to have a count up now, and I'll shout them as I go to them. So there's the Benina, which is 1. I've got my Stellaire here, which is 2. My Genome, 3. My industrial overlocker, I've got 1, 2, 3. My industrial overlock is 4. My industrial lock stitch is 5. And my cover stitch is 6. So I've got 6 sewing machines that I actually use, which are out on display at the moment. No, it's not my pattern, Sandy. So it's 6 machines. Whoever said 6, I hope somebody said it, because I've just told you the answer. If not, I will have a look in the comments to see who said it first, and I will send something out to you. It's a Petit Bout pattern, and it's on Etsy. It's a pair of slippers, and I've made them the other day, and I want another pair for the house. I'll quickly show you for those who've come in a bit later. It's a wrap over front. It's got a little bit of elastic at the back there, and I've put leather soles on, so it's quite a hard wearing slipper, but we'll be able to put them in the wash. So I can see me making lots of these. If you want some, Mum, let me know, Angie. Right, so the next thing we're going to be doing is stitch forward and back a few times. We've done that, done that. Now we're going to stitch the wrap over parts, the toes. So let's get these together. So I'm going to put a lining on each one, and we're going to stitch around this bit here, 1/4 inch seam allowance, but it tells you to start, is it a 1/4 inch? Yep, 1/4 inch below the top of the seam there. So I'm starting about here and stitching all the way around to the end, back tacking as we go. So I'm going to have to think of something else for next week. What could you use instead of leather? Are they slippy? No, they're not slippy, Anne. They are really, they're not supposed to be for outside, even with the leather. But to tell you the truth, I have been going to the storeroom and up to the house with them on, and it's been raining and no wet's come through, so that's good. I wouldn't wear them to go anywhere like the shops or anything, but I think for just tottering about your garden or your home, they're fine. You could use any non-slip fabric, like let's have a think, Deckerville. Yeah, Deckerville would do it. But you should be able to get hold of scraps of leather if you look on eBay and Google scraps of leather and just see what you can get. You only need tiny amounts. I was saying earlier, the bits that I got were from the recycle yard in Ossett. So any recycle centres The one that I go to, the people who make cars and make the leather interiors for cars give the bits of leather to them. They may get slippery with wear. They may do, but I find that leather is better than like a fabric sole, because it's just going to wear away. But they're not slippy at the moment. Right, so I've done 2, and I started 1/4 of an inch away from the top, and I just need to now snip the curves a little bit. Some of the things I've been making I can't show you because they're for Christmas presents, but if I've still got anything around after Christmas, I can show you them. I have got to make some hoodies for Mark, so he doesn't always watch though, so I should probably be safe to show you them. So this is the other piece, because each front has got 2 wrap over bits. Oops, right sides together, Ali. So do exactly the same on these, 1/4 of an inch from the top and a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. I think if you've got some really nice fabric though, because you don't have to do the inside bits, all you really want is the heel piece and these 2, and you could use some really nice expensive fabric to make some lovely slippers for yourself. I'll let you know how they wear as time goes on. But I've got quite wide feet. Like I say, I've had a few operations on them, and I'm finding them really, really comfy. Just put a few snips in the curves. Make sure you don't snip your stitches. Ask me how I know. Right, now these are supposed to be pressed again. Oh no, I don't. Do I turn them? Click the seam allowance, insert a heel piece between the lining and main fabrics of a toe piece. Let's have a look. How did I do this? Ah, that's what I did. So you need to get your heel piece and open this out. So that's this side, so that the right sides are together, and you're going to push the part there up to the seam at the top here, so they're all lined up, and bring the lining over so you're encasing that in between. Catch all the little seams in. If you want to use pins or clips, go ahead, and then stitch all the way down. Make sure you keep them all nicely lined up. So then on the other one of the other ones, do exactly the same on the other side. So line up the edge here. Probably easier if I cut all that excess off there. So I've got the seam here. Line up the edge of the heel. Bring those edges together. Then bring the lining down so it's encased inside like a sandwich. Put all your edges together, and we're going to stitch from the top to the bottom. 1/4 inch seam allowance again. Take that out. So now what we're going to do, where we've got those crossed there, we're just going to snip to get rid of the bulk. The same on the other side. Turn these through to the right side. A press would help here, but I'm just going to give it a finger press. So that's the one of the crossover fronts. That's the other. So you can see now you pull that straight, and that gives you the back of your slipper there. These come round to the front and cross over at the front to make your slipper shape, just like that. So you can see it's a very easy project. You could line them with, oh, Sarah, that's a really good idea. Now you're talking. Oh yeah, I've got to do that. Thank you, Sarah. I've not thought of that. Right, so now the other one, exactly the same. They do tell you to make one slipper up at a time. And I think that's purely for if you're not confident. But I've made a pair already, so I'm quite confident in doing both. And again, I would make a pair, maybe out of something like calico to check on your size. But to me, what appealed was the being able to use my favourite fabrics. So I'm putting that inside, up to the seam, bringing the lining over, keeping your edges straight, and then stitching a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So again, cut off that little box there. That will be bulk fabric. Turn them through to the right side. I would advise you pressing though when you're doing them at home. Give it a little press. Same at the other side. Now what you need to do is, on your pattern, where's my other pieces? Where have I left them? They have, I don't know where I've done my other paper pieces. It tells you the toe. Basically what you need to do is, and I know where it is, so I'm just going to guess, but what you would do is mark on here where the toe was, and you're going to wrap over your pieces and basically stitch them round. So I'm just going to guess because I don't know what I've done. Oh, I do. Sorry, I'll go and get it, then I can show you properly. Here they are. That's it. So it tells you the, actually it doesn't tell you on that bit, it tells you on this bit. You see here, you've got that little line. So what I would do, if I was you, excuse me, is get a little pen and just mark, or do it before you actually stitch it on here. Mark which is the toe. I can do it all from that one now because they're all the same. Sorry, my chair's nudged you. So my pen's running out, so it just disappears really quickly. So I'm just going to do that again. So what you do then is you line up the line on here with that one and get a clip. And then you're going to stitch around there to hold it all in place. Now, this is where it would have been better pressed. So I'm just going to try and ease it into place. That's it. I'm happy with that now. I don't want the lining to roll, that's all. Right, there we go. Definitely press though when you're doing it at home. There you can see now it's the wrap over on this one goes to that side. So you need to make sure that the wrap over on the other one goes the other way for the other foot. You can furry insoles. I've brought them in the past for my boots. Oh, so you can buy the furry ones. Oh, brilliant. So that is the slipper just needs the sole on basically. So let's do the other front and make sure that this time you wrap it the opposite way. So the toe is there. So the toe on the other one needs to be on the same spot. Is it gone already? Don't you hate it when your pens disappear really quickly? Right. Quick, quick, quick. So that's wrapped that way, so this one needs to wrap that way. That's it. It's easy enough to swap, as long as you haven't sewn it. So I'm just going to check. Yep, one's one way and one is the other way. Stitch that to hold it in place. I've really enjoyed doing them. It's something that I've never done before. And I just thought, I aim one day to be able to make everything myself. And we've done bras and we've done pants. So slippers was the next thing. Right, so now you can see we've now got a pair of slipper tops. So the soles, all you need to do is get your, or two of your fleece bits, put them on top of each other. Next time I'm going to have a go at 3, but on the industrial machine. Take your main fabric and put it on top, and I'm just going to base, so I'm going to get a big stitch and I'm going to stitch all the way around to hold all that in place. I would put a walking foot on for this bit. I'm just going to have a slurp. I'm definitely going to have a go at these. Do you think they could be made without a pattern, Ali? Joyce, to tell you the truth, the pattern cost £5. I think it was £5. I do enclosed soles on mine. Petit Bout on Etsy for pattern. Yeah, that's the one I got, Jean. I think for £5, it's worth paying to have that pattern to have a go. So I've got a stitch length of 6, and I'm just whizzing around to hold the fleece together. There we go. And that's quite spongy, but I dare say slipper patterns, I think so too, because for this one you've got sizes from 13. Oh, size 1 is a foot length of 8 inches. So I would say that was probably a girl's size 1 or 2. So you could do like from teens, or yeah, I'd say teens up to an adult's. That is the bit done. Now you could trim all that off if you need to. I'm going to leave it on for now. I'm going to do the other side, the foot, sorry. So I'm going to put the sole on. And this is what's going to be the inside of the shoe. And I know I don't need to, because that bit you could have done out of plain fabric. It's going to be the inside of your slipper. But I just thought it looked really nice, so I decided to go for it. And it was a downloadable pattern, Joyce, so if you can download the pattern, or you know somebody who can download it for you, you've got it straight away. Definitely worth it. Right, so the way I did these then, I found the pattern a little bit confusing, so I didn't use it. I just did it the way I thought it should be. And the way I figured out was to put the shoe on there together. So I'm just going to clip that on. Get a few clips. I know that's the toe piece. And then I clip the heel piece. and then I clipped all the way around. Very easy. But I wanted to see if I could do it with leather on the Bernina. Well, on a domestic machine rather than just a Bernina, but you know what I'm saying, rather than having to use an industrial, because I did the others on the industrial. So clip all the way around the heel. There we go. And then stitch around. Now, if you've got a slim foot, I mean, mine's quite wide, I would cut quite a lot of that off. But I found that these were lovely for me. But I did do slightly bigger than a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance around here anyway. Oops, I've got a sequin stuck under my nail. Don't you hate it when that happens? Don't forget to leave time for photos. I will show you some photos. We all need us baby fix. By the way, I saw her last week and it was absolutely wonderful to see her. I will show you some photos. Let's have a look. She's absolutely adorable. I haven't had them print. Oh yeah, I've got some printed out actually. Where are we? I'll not show you the bath time ones. This is her and my son watching TV. So that's Louis and little Robin. She's a mini me. That's her there. Can you see? It's a bit bright, isn't it? Let's have a look. Is that better? She's doing very, very well. There, look, smiling away. So thank you for all your prayers for her. She's adorable, absolutely adorable. And he says it's all right to show you some pictures, so she's lovely. She just makes me smile. She is gorgeous, bless her. I know she's still tiny. I think she's nearly 13 pounds now, and she is 1 in February, but you know, she's just amazing. She's a very happy little baby. Right, sorry, back to my slipper. But he's very appreciative of all the gifts that you've given. I know she's beautiful, Lynn. Always smiling. Right, so I'm now just going to stitch around. I'm going to turn, oh, I have done, I've turned my stitch length down a bit. If you've got problem with your hands like I have, turning out was quite difficult. Not difficult, it just hurt my hands. I would leave quite a decent sized turning gap if you're going to have a go at these. Just stitching around the heel. I've got quite big feet and wide feet. They have been likened to Barney Rubble feet. Looks like she's coming on leaps and bounds now, gorgeous baby. She is, Kaylee. Thanks, Jean. You know, Jean, what we've been through. She's doing amazing. We're so proud of her. So just coming around the toes. But you can actually adapt this pattern so that it fits you perfectly. Well, that looks even bigger than my other pattern actually, so I might even tack it in a little bit more when I stitch the leather on. So now that's done, what you need to do is get your leather or whatever sole you're using. They tell you to just use a non-slip fabric. Place that over the top. Now you need to leave a turning gap. So this one is the left foot. So I'm going to turn it on the inside, leave the turning gap on the inside of the foot here. So I'm going to start stitching here, but I'm going to put a clip there to remind me to leave a gap there. If you turn it over, so actually you can see where you're stitching better. So I'm going to, and your leather's under. So I'm going to put it that way down. I've got my walking foot on, and I'm going to start stitching all the way around now. If you're not sure, you could put your stitch length up a bit, which I will do, and then turn it down and go around it again, because I do think a couple of layers of stitches around it is not going to do any harm. So the moment of truth. Will she cope? Come on. No trouble. So like I say, I have got a leather needle in. Again, if you want to clip, do so. But I'm going to just go around it once. And with I'm on a stitch length 3.7. And then I will lower it down and go around again and turn it through. But if you've got a narrow foot, you just cut the size of the sole down on the width. Hiya, Janice. Make sure you've got all your fabric tucked on the inside. Coming round the heel part now. I've took the clip off, but I will remember to leave that gap. So I want to leave a good 4 inches because it is hard on my hands. So back tack. Also, on the industrial machine, I used the bonded nylon thread that I bought from Amazon, and I could not break that. At the moment I've got a coats on, which is a pretty strong polyester thread, so bear that in mind. You do want a good strong thread on. I'm going to turn my stitch length down to 2.3 and go over it again. So if you fancy some slippers out of your nice fabrics, get on Etsy, on Teboo. And have a go at this pattern. Right, there we go. So now, for the moment of truth, I'm going to see if I can get it turned through. Don't tell me I've sewn my opening up. Oh. Looks like I've just sewn my opening up. Do you know, where was it? Can I find out where it was? Is that where I started? What am I like? I've had too much gin. Yeah, it's there. Shouldn't be too hard to open up because I only went over it once. Good job I didn't use my bonded nylon thread, eh? Got carried away just stitching round. That was the opening that I sewed up, but I have got the bar tacks on it. So, right, so what I'm going to do now, it might even be worth as well just trimming your seams, just so that it's not too bulky on the inside. Nice sharp pair of scissors for your leather. There we go. Right. I find it easy, or easier, to use the forceps. So how I did it was I put the forceps on the inside, tried to grab hold of something, and then pull it through. If you haven't got problems with your hands, you're probably all right doing this. But mine are rubbish. So however I can, I'll do it. Right, there we go. We've got it coming through now. Once you've got it started coming through, it's not a problem. So pull it all through and get your fancy chopstick. You need to make sure that you push it all right up to the ends. And it does tell you in the pattern to sew the side bit up by hand, but because I did mine on the industrial machine, it managed to stitch it no problem. So spend a bit of time just pulling all the... Tell you what I'll do, I'll put it on my foot, and that way it'll push it right up to the ends. So let's try it. Fits like a glove. Lovely. Right, so I've pushed it right up now. So that basically is your slipper done. I just need to fold all this to the inside. And I think for this bit, it's probably better to use a bit of, maybe a bit of glue. To hold it in place and then hand stitch it. But I think I'm going to finish that bit off on the industrial machine. But that is your slippers done. I'm really impressed. I really like it. So I'm just going to quickly sew the other one, and then all I've got to do is sew that up. If you haven't got an industrial machine, maybe do it by hand, but that's on the inside anyway. So let's do the last one. So again, let's get rid of all this rubbish on here. I'm going to put a clip on the front. Put my stitch length up. Put get a clip on the heel at the back. Stitch all the way around with the wrong side of the slipper to the right side of the sole. And you're going to go all the way around this one. Just lining up all the edges as you go. Going around the back of the heel. It's a lovely, easy project to do. Round to where you started. There we go. So on this one, this is going to be the inner. So I'm going to place the leather over the top and put a clip to remind me this time not to sew it up. Tuck all the edges inside. I've got the leather on the bottom, and it didn't really have a problem stitching it, so I'm quite impressed. Back tack so you don't undo it when you start tugging it through. So I think you'll be absolutely fine if you've got a leather needle on your domestic machine. Definitely use a strong thread though. Right, I won't sew the opening, the turning gap up, but I will go around again. Just to make sure we've got a nice strong seam. This is where I sewed it up when I was zooming round. Right. So let's cut off some of the excess. As a pattern, I think it's a brilliant pattern. Get rid of some of that bulk and then we'll turn it through. I must have left a bigger turning gap than what I left the other day because I had right problems turning it through. Like I said, once you've got a bit through, you can, you've got something to grab hold of to pull it. New pair of slippers to watch TV in tonight. You can't find it, Anne. What did I put in? I put fabric slipper patterns. Let's have a look if there's a link. Etsy.com/shop Petit Boo, PETITBOO. If you can't find it, I will see if I can get a link and put it on my Facebook page. But try searching for Petit Boo and I'm sure it could come up. So push that all out. Has anybody else been able to find it? If you can, let Anne know what you searched for. But I will be putting this on YouTube, and it will still be on my page, so you will be able to find how to do the slippers again if you need to watch. But there, we turned it through. So again, all I need to do is turn the turning gap to the inside and stitch that down. Like I say, I'm going to do that on the industrial machine, but I will put them on and show you, even though it's not totally finished, so you can see what they look like on. Pair of slippers in an hour from start to finish. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's one on. That foot doesn't bend, it's been fused, so it's not the best one. Right. So I still have to, oh, put them on wrong feet now. I still have to finish the sides, but there you go. That's one slipper and the other one. So we have slippers and I'm delighted with them. So right, that's it for tonight, ladies. I hope you all keep well and try and keep warm. I shall catch you all next week. Thank you for watching and take care, everyone. Bye.